North Korea's leader has used his annual New Year's address to warn that his country may change direction on its promise of denuclearization if the United States continues its sanctions. In his televised speech, Kim Jong-un said he remained committed to working towards lasting peace on the Korean peninsula. He urged stronger cooperation between North and South Korea and called on the South to halt its joint military exercises with the US. Chairman Kim also warned the US not to test his country's patience.
I
am always ready to sit down again with the U.S. president at any time, and will make efforts to produce an outcome that the international community would welcome. However, if the U.S. miscalculates our people's patience, forces something upon us, and pursues sanctions and pressure without keeping a promise it made to the world, we have no option but to explore a new path in order to protect our sovereignty and achieve peace on the Korean peninsula.
Let's get more on this from Reuters correspondent Josh Smith, who joins us from the South Korean capital, Seoul. Welcome to DW, Josh. What is this new path likely to look like?
Well, of course, many who heard that fear that it could mean the worst, possibly a return to some of the missile tests and launches that we saw in 2017 and the threats of war from both Pyongyang and Washington. But many others, given the emphasis that Kim Jong-un has placed on economic development and more growth for his country, see it as likely that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is basically setting the stage to blame Washington for any failure of the denuclearization talks. And this allows him basically to turn to partners like Russia, China, or even South Korea and potentially bring them on board as major partners should things fall through with Washington.
So has anything concrete and measurable been achieved since Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump's historic summit last June?
Well, while we've seen a fair amount of inter-Korean projects between North and South Korea going forward, there's been far less progress between the United States and Pyongyang. Several high-level talks have been canceled and have yet to be rescheduled. In his speech, Kim, as you mentioned, says that he wants to meet with Donald Trump again in the new year, and Trump has said that he is also interested in that. And so what many will be looking for out of that summit will be specifics, some kind of agreement that both sides can work towards in the future that they didn't get in their last summit.
Yeah, so each side does appear to be convinced that the other has done little to fulfill previous promises. So what do they each need to see in order to be convinced?
Well, at the very basic level, they need to have an agreement. What they came out of from the Singapore summit was basically a series of very broad goals, and that has left a lot to be argued over since then. And so I think many analysts will be looking for, again, specifics out of any future meeting, an actual agreement, some kind of even limited roadmap that both sides could potentially agree on and compare, progress.
Good talking to you. Thanks for joining us. Josh Smith in Seoul.
Thank you.